Alright, so for this design, this is a split design. So if you have rival teams, or even if you have the same team, let's say we're going to do one player or one team, and then you just want to do the alternating colors of the team, that can work for this purpose too. So we're going to go ahead and do this one based on some images that one of you dropped onto the listing, or not the listing, the post that had this design. And then I'm just going to add something to it by just trying to exemplify how you can also add photos to this design. So this design initially only has images for like mascots and word marks, but we're about to change all of that. So let's get into it. First, I think Devonna plays two rival teams that are in Thomasville. So we're going to go with those. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and change these into PNG so that if I have to edit them, so I'm going to double click and open them first. They're not the cleanest files, but they will work for this purpose. Normally I would take something like this and vector it, just because I like for my images to be super clean and have a pretty large expandable file type, so if I wanted to make it all over, I don't have to worry about it looking grainy when I expand it. But we're going to work off of these today. So these will be the two logos, and then I'm going to have a couple of photos that I'm going to play with too. And of course these photos are not provided. However, I'm going to make it seem like these are like rival soccer photos. Alright, so first things first, we'll go to File, we're going to save as PNG. Now let me go ahead and just save this as, what is this? Thomasville Bulldogs. And I may just take the logo itself and just retype the Bulldogs in the Thomasville. More than likely that's what I will do. And same thing here, save as PNG. And this will be Thomasville County. What are they? I don't know if they're Hornets or what. I'm going to call them Hornets right now. Sorry if they're not Hornets, but I'm going to call them Hornets right now. Alright, so I have them as PNGs. This way, when I save them and I pull them in, if I need to edit them, they will be smart objects as PNGs. So first things first, let me grab my quick selection tool. I'm going to grab all of this white around here. I'm just doing a nice job of selecting. You see it selected too much right there with the gold. And this also lets you see that this is not the cleanest of images, but it will work. I'm going to go now with my minus tool and come back and give me some of that back. Go in the plus, add 2, and I really just need to stop being lazy and change the size to a little bit smaller. And here, I want to do a subtract from the selection. I want to get some of that gold back to how it was before. Grab some of that white, clean that up. And as we get closer to these edges here, it's really not fair because it's not going to quite give us this. But I'm going to see if I can get a little closer there. And I am okay with that. So now I'm going to do select inverse, and I want to make sure I don't have any trash like selected on these edges, because that will definitely hurt me in the long run. And instead of doing anything crazy to it, I'm just going to make a layer mask here. And I didn't have to do anything to refine the edge or anything. So that allowed me to save that one as a PNG. That way when I go to grab it back in, it should have the background removed. Now for this one, like I said, I know it has the words in here. It's not necessary. I'm just going to go into the inside of this sticker area where it has the clean white, because I do not want to deal with that shadow if I don't have to. So grabbing this part of the logo, like I said, if I was really doing this like seriously for like jerseys or something like that, I would definitely vector these designs. But you're talking about a single shirt that you may or may not make multiples of, you probably don't want to do all that. So I'm just going to Control C to copy, Control V to paste. I'll turn off my background. And now same thing with the magic wand. I'm supposed to be on this top layer. I'm going to tell you something about this. Now this isn't the magic wand, this is a quick select. About this quick select, it will have you thinking it has all the stuff around here, and it'll have some trash on these edges, and you won't see it until you go to layer it on something, and you'll see like faint little skinny white lines from the previous background, and it drives me crazy. So I get the magic wand tool and I go ahead and get all of this extra outside meat. So I added to that selection. You see that? That would have been a part of the mess. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm on my addition mode here so that I can add that to the selection. Make sure I don't have anything creeping on the outside here. If I go to select and mask, it should give me a good indication of how clean this edge is going to look. Okay. Add that layer mask. I need to select the inverse because I'm masking what's on the inside meat. There we go. Now to make this as large as it says here, just scale it there. And now I'm guessing the colors are probably gold and red. I'm not sure, but these colors can always be changed up. And from here, I'm going to delete this background. All right, so let's save this PNG here and close out of it. And then for these, what we're going to do is remove BG for those two images. And I'm going to make one, I know both of them are blue. I'm going to make one look red and make one look, well, one is already blue. So we'll keep it on there, and I'll probably make it look navy blue because it looks like that's what the Thomasville County logo looks like. But we're able to see how to modify this here. So this is going to be fun. Let's double click on logo number 1. And right now I have the bulldog logo, so we're going to call this the red side. So I'm going to drag my Thomasville logo here. Happens to have similar colors. I did not try to do that on purpose, but we will end up changing that red. So I dragged it on, turned off the visibility of the previous logo. I'm going to exit out of this and say, yes, I want to save my changes. And that has updated to the screen here. And you see that wherever you put that, it's a smart object. So it duplicated that image in the background here. So that's one. Next one would be logo number 2. Let's double click on that. And this one happens to be a blue color scheme. And I'm going to scale this one up just a little bit. Hit enter and turn off my previous logo. And although this might be somewhat centered, I think visually it's not centered because you have this little piece that stands out from here. So I might manually adjust it a little bit just so that visually it looks more centered. Let's say yes to save that. And now we see that updates. Cool. Next thing is, let's say even without the photos, we were just changing these out. That's as simple as that. You would change out the word mark logos if you had word marks for the school. I think we'll stick with these logos here. And let me reduce the size because that bulldog is a little bit smaller. So I guess I should have kept with my original size. I think because the bulldog is a little smaller, this logo is overpowering it. So I want to have some balance there. There we go. A little bit better there. And we have text 2 here. So what I did is just copy the text. So I can keep that original text. And let's say for this one, I want to edit the King's Fork. And what is that one? That's Thomasville Bulldog. So Thomasville is still sort of the theme. So I guess I can do Bulldogs. Bulldogs. And this is a free font that I downloaded. It's called Empires. So you all download that one too if you want to play with it. Lakeland, we're going to change that one to, are they Hornets? And this is Devonna's. I don't know if she's joining us right now, but if she is, I can check to see. Let's see here. If she's with us, she can tell me exactly what the logo is. So until then, I got some stuff loading up. Ooh, Randy wants to know how you change the color of something. Randy, give me an idea of what you want to change the colors of. For instance, something that's on the screen. Oh, I am going to change the colors of the subject's clothing, so that probably will be interesting for you. Hey, my love. I see Erica here. And Erica, I saw your calls. I got to call you back, but I was trying to get the thing on live, so it can only do so much. But I will definitely call you back after this. I think this is going to be our last live for today, and then I will be working on getting the links straight on the website so that you can order these lovely templates. All right, so that was Bulldogs. I'm just going to call these Hornets. And I don't really like that E. It's a little confusing, so I just use a capital E there. All right, so now we change the colors of this. So we have our effects here. If I want to grab, I'm on my color overlay option. Right now it's on the royal blue. I'm going to change it, use the color picker to pick the color straight from the logo. So if you upload your high quality logos, they are not only good graphics, they are color palettes. So we have that blue selected there, and then once you have that blue selected, you can opt to not have to pick anymore. If you go to your color overlay, go to that swatch, you have a hex number here. So I can copy that hex number and put it everywhere that I have blue. So for instance, I have blue on this outline here. For all of this text has a gradient outline that goes from left to right. So I'll go to that gradient overlay. Oh, that's my gradient overlay. I need to go to my stroke. The stroke has a gradient as well. So for the blue, I can double click on that and I can paste the number there, and all of a sudden it goes to the darker blue. Same thing for the red. So now here for the red, I haven't chosen my red color yet. That looks like a dangerous red. Looks like a pink red. I think I'm going to change that red to be a little darker. So I'm going to choose this as my red, and then I'll adjust reds accordingly because that red was a little dangerous for me. And if you don't like how colors look touching, like the red touching the blue does make it purple, throw your color in the middle. Do like a gray or white or a black. And then we can shrink that color a little bit so that it's not so prominent, but then you don't get the mixing of that color right there in the middle. I do that a lot for just colors that look weird mixed. When you have your complementary colors, like your purples and your yellows or your orange and your blues, they turn into brown when they mix. So just fix that by putting a little transition color in there, okay? So I have a transition color in there. I'm not mad at that. Let me see what the transition color looks like. It's white. Nah, I lose it too much there. So black it is. And then now, instead of the logos here, oh, did I change bulldogs? I didn't change the color of the bulldogs. Let me double click on that. Double click on bulldogs. Or I'm sorry, double click on the effects for the bulldogs. For the color overlay, I'm going to do that red, and hopefully I saved that color. There we go. We're almost there already. I told y'all this stuff is simple. All right, now we're scrolling down into the background area. Instead of me redoing this background, what I'm going to do is duplicate it so that I don't mess up my original color scheme. Just in case some of you have that color scheme already. But I'm going to go into my gradient, and what I should have done was saved my gradient, but I didn't. So we'll do what we do here, which is grab that red, go to the blue, grab that blue, say okay, and we're like 90% there. As a matter of fact, if this were not, sorry, my auntie just came home. My niece and nephew are all excited because I've been ignoring them for y'all today, so they're trying to show off right now. No, they just actually enjoy their aunties. Okay. So we're going to go with, this is the red on the left, is a stronger red. So now we're almost with an opposite color scheme. So before we had the darker red and the royal blue, and now we have more of the pure red and the darker blue. So we're getting basically the same type of feel for this one. So don't know if the saying will still say doing it for the city or anything of that nature, but that will be up to your customers whether they want to change that. So I have a place for a logo 4 and a logo 3, but we're going to turn those off because we don't have 2 logos. But you still see the watermark logo here. You can change it and, you know, push it around based on what you want to see. But these watermark logos aren't really meant to be seen. They're just accents, okay? So don't get too caught up in that. So I have Bulldogs, Hornets, doing it for the city, 2020 state champs, if that's what it is. All of this text is editable. Make it whatever you wish. Now, for us to make this into a photo design, we will bring over some extra photos. So we took it, made it our mascot design, and now it's time for the fun stuff. First thing I'm going to do here is grab my remove BG. All right, I'm going to log in. Once I log in and I have credits, I can use those credits to modify the high resolution images. So I'm already logged in. I'm going to go to remove background. This is what we did earlier. So if you missed that, go back and watch the replay. We did it live, but please watch that replay. We're going to drag and drop it like it's hot. All right, we got the ball. Of course, we're missing some of the foot because the grass is there, but that's cool. And we don't, like, these have nice backgrounds. We're not really caring about the backgrounds because we're going to make this about the subject and not the backgrounds. And that will be subject number 2. That photo is not the best, but I think what I'm going to show you is more or less about changing the colors and kind of how you set the mood with the graphics, so that's going to be more important. I'm just going to accept them as is because I'm not really happy with how that ball went. Matter of fact, maybe I'm not going to accept it as is then. I lied. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and restore. That's going to bother me. Just in case I need that ball, which I'm not sure if I will at this point. I don't like that it's just completely missing. And when I tell you, I would much rather do this on Photoshop because you just do a simple slip and this does not work well for you. But if you were doing this on your phone or stylus, it would work amazing. However, with this mouse, no bueno. Alright, that's good enough for me. For demonstration purposes anyway. Alright, so this hair looks a little messy too. You know what? Let's just find a whole new photo. I can't do it. Let's see, soccer girl pose. Maybe we'll get one that looks kind of rival. I think that might even be the same girl. No, it's not the same girl. Okay. So, of course, that's not my photo. I'm using this for mock-up purposes. Let's see. I need something a little bit higher resolution. This one probably will work too. Let's go to open image in the new tab and save image as. And we'll change the colors of that one because that one obviously is purple. So it would still work. Let's throw it on that remove BG, of course, to close out of that. Alright, much better. Let's go ahead and download that one. Okay, so now we're getting the concept that we're going to do photos on each side, and we're going to end up changing that purple uniform to a red uniform. Let's see how close we can do that. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our purple image. I'm going to make sure that we are on top of these background logos, but for right now that we're behind our main logos. And let's drag that one in. And keep in mind that you want to be within the smallest shirt. And now we're going to drag this above the logos because I can clearly see I'm going to want to see this photo above the logos. So that's one. And enter. Let's drag in subject number 2. And we'll stretch that one out so that they're about the same size. And of course, my blue one looks better on the purple side. My purple one probably looks better on the blue side, but okay, I think we still make that work. The ball still shows in her hand. We'll make it do what it do. Let's increase that size there. And if the feet are hanging off a little bit from our dotted line, I'm not so upset with that, but I would be upset if faces or important parts of the logo or the text were hanging off there. So, Control-T. Now this one, because her pose is at a little bit different angle, so you're going to end up looking a little shorter. That's fine. So we'll do right player. Not play red. Making up words on y'all today. Right player, and then left player. Hold on. Okay, I have my niece here with me and she wants to help out, so I will allow her to chime in as well.
Yay.
Calm down. Alright, so we have the purple, right? And we want to change it to a red color. So we're going to go to our purple player and we're going to do some adjustments. So let's do a layer, a new adjustment layer, and we're going to do hue saturation. And this, we are going to click on this box that says to use the previous layer to create a clipping mask, because we want this color change to only occur to this photo.
But how are you going to do that?
You'll see just now. So if I want to figure out what color I'm really trying to change, I can select this purple and see how it automatically came up with blues right here. That means it's guessing that there are blues that really need to be changed. So what I do is I bring it all the way down, saturation all the way down, and I still see a little more purple. So what I'll do is I'll add to that selection and I'll grab that purple down there. So now everything's grayed out, right? And it has a little bit of purple left up there around the collar. If I want to grab that, I'll zoom in.
I didn't notice that at all.
Right. And sometimes you won't till you keep going. So I think I got most of that purple. See that? So now that it's all grayed out, I have a good inclination that I have everything selected here. So it selected magentas and blues. So let us see if we bring the saturation back up. And then we change the hue now. So the hue is the color. That's the color family. The saturation is how pure that color is or how dull that color is, how close it is to gray or the pure color. And then the lightness is how light it is, like pastel. And the darkness is how deep it is, kind of like an eggplant color. All right, so what we're changing it to though, we're changing it to
red.
Right, because I almost forgot.
I bet you're about to change it to green.
We'll see how we're getting close to red, but now we're a little too dark, so let's bring the lightness up. And we're getting there, we're getting there. Now saturation is, woo, that's too much. And now also, when you bring the saturation up too much, your image starts to look really nasty. So you have to be careful with that.
So it looks like when something glitches?
Right. Okay.
Which is what you don't want.
Absolutely.
So you don't want to turn it up too much or it will look like it will glitch.
Right. It'll have all those pixels in it. So we're done with the red one, I think. What do you think, Emma?
It looks pretty nice.
Okay.
Looks like the image was never purple.
All right. Now, I am seeing a little bit of green around her neckline. So what I can do is come in right around there. And I'm going to grab my paintbrush tool. I'm on the layer mask and not the actual photo. And let me bring the size down a little bit.
So are you going to erase it?
No, that's exactly what we're not going to do. What we want to do here is use the mask to do a non-destructive edit. That means we're not going to destroy or erase anything. We're just going to edit right on top of it. And it creates like a window or a mask that won't affect the actual photo.
I can also see some near the hair if you guys can see that.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's create a whole new, let's do a new hue adjustment layer. And this time I'm going to turn everything down, saturation down on everything. Bam. And instead of all white, I want this one to be all black. So, oops, no. Okay, so I want this one to be all black. So what I can do is I can fill it up with the paint bucket tool and make it all black. That means it's
not black.
all.
The mask is black, but
right.
The player is not.
Right. So the mask being black. What happens with mask? Black conceals and white reveals. So right now I concealed everything that was doing. Now I want to reveal just a little bit of it. So I'm basically cheating and making this going to be a little bit of a gray tone right here. So I'll reduce my size a little bit. Okay. And I have black selected. So will black show up on black?
I think.
So black is going to conceal. I want white now because I want to reveal. So let's reveal that a little bit.
So what you're doing is dulling up the green spots and a little bit purple, if you guys can see that.
Let's do this. New layer. I'm just going to paint this red on here.
Paint it red?
Watch
you're
this.
You're going to make it? That looks like you're turning it into a cartoon and it can't be seen.
Well, we have something called blend modes. And blend modes will allow us, instead of normal, we can change how this affects the layer beneath it.
But also,
and I'm going to change it to the color mode. You see how it's blending with the image below?
If you also didn't see that, there's some right here where the shoulder is.
Yeah,
but
I see
it's
that
really
too.
thin. And everybody that's watching this, sorry if you hear noises in the background. It's because of my brother, or it's because the people outside. So I apologize if you hear distractions.
Thank you, Emma. All right, so very good explanation. I kind of explained these distractions earlier when Auntie Tanza came in. All right, okay, so I got it on darken. And let me bring this opacity down a little bit.
My brother's.
Go real quick and see what Levi wants. No, 10-minute tease gets extended when you have little ones around, just in case you didn't know. I'm sure the corona is teaching all of us that.
Levi wanted me to play the piano. I said not now.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm glad you have your priorities straight.
Probably on our next video, you would do it live, and they get to see what I look like.
Well, maybe so. Maybe we'll actually do some physical projects. You're supposed to make some stuff. But right now, let's focus. All right. So delete the layer. I'm going to delete that one. This is bothering me. And even on the original image, it's a little like halo of color right there.
Maybe if you back it out, it won't look like that.
Yeah, we're just going to use our pen tool and get as close to this as we can. Kind of mask that out a little bit.
What do you mean by mask?
The same way we're using the black and white mask to kind of cut things out without really cutting them.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just using this to. So if I do that, make that into a selection. I'll feather that radius just a little bit, and then I'm going to paint with black. So it's just showing that purple.
Maybe you can make it red. Instead, so when you zoom it out, it won't look as halo as it is.
It does. You know what I'm going to do? I'd rather it be purple right now than green. So.
Purple than green?
Yeah, because that green is bothering me. I hate to see like green skin tones and stuff. Anyway, so I will have to work on that. Yeah. It's, for this particular one, it's just driving me crazy. And I will have to work on that a little bit. I would be very meticulous about it. Even around her shorts, I would clean all of that up. I would do it with the pen tool, go back and recolor the skin, recolor the edge of the shirt, whatever I have to do. But anyways, we're going to move on to changing the blue color here. So we'll go to the right player. Of course, she has a royal blue right now. We want to change that to a navy blue. So we will go to a layer, new adjustment layer, hue saturation. Go ahead and clip that to the layer beneath it. And instead of master, we're going to click our blue color, and of course it selects blues. We'll turn them all the way down. And this one probably has blues and cyan, so we'll do our addition here. And let's go ahead and grab this color here. And if you see what it's doing, it's changing this range here. So I think we have pretty much everything blue selected. It's now gray. Now we'll bring our saturation back up.
I don't have everything blue selected.
What else is blue?
Shoes. You already had red shoes too.
Well, that one looks like she has like kind of mint colored shoes on right now.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. You know, in soccer they wear different color shoes.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know, I'm matchy-matchy, so I would probably make the colors match. Now, we didn't need to change the hue so much, right? Because the hue was already blue, so I'm going to keep that on 0. What we really need to change is the lightness. I need to bring it to be a little bit darker blue, And then the saturation, that blue is a little bit duller. So it's kind of a little more grayed out. And I can always modify my blue a little bit. And I'm just visually trying to match that to more of the blue in the background. And I think that's good enough there as far as a uniform goes. What you think? We got a navy uniform?
Yeah, that looks kind of like it.
Okay.
But also, viewers, you don't have to use the same player or the same color as the t-shirt.
Right, because they'll be changing it out for their teams and their players.
And there's also another way to do it.
Okay, so this is pretty much how I wanted to show you how you can add photos of these. It did not initially have photos, so now I'm glad that we do have some kind of presentation of photos. But it's a very simple design. I want to show you if you wanted to change how these colors are. You have other options for gradients in here. You also have this option for the flares. Let's go to that. And you can turn off, aside from the flares, you can turn off the lines. No, these are the diagonal lines.
Oh, what are flares then?
The flares are the little blings.
Oh,
looks like light. So we can turn those off completely. We can turn them on, and we can change the color gradient here. Right now it fades from the gold to the white. If we wanted it all white, we would take that off. And this team, one team happens to have gold and another team happens to have another gold. Sometimes you can blend these, sometimes it doesn't make sense. I like it with the clean white. I think it looks clean, it looks good. What I'm not liking right now is that my ball is
Nikes.
Well, not that it's Nikes, it's that it's cut off where the grass was, and her foot is cut off too. So anytime I have cut off graphics, my number one thing to do is fade them off. Even if you don't have the information there, at least make it something that's not so harsh.
So what you're saying is like to pretend that you meant to do that?
Right. So we're going to add a layer mask, and we're going to fade it off. I'm going to use my paintbrush tool here. I'm going to grab one that is soft, so I'm going to bring the hardness all the way down to 0. And then I'll right click, make my brush size bigger. And make it a little bit bigger. And now we'll just fade that off. That way if it pops up, it's not so noticeable that it's missing. I could do the same thing to the other foot.
But you rather not because it has a fully graph.
Yeah, it does have the full image there. Now, another thing you could do, you can place logos down here. You can put your text down here. So my 2020 state champs. I tend to strategically place my text so that you would never know that her foot was missing. Correct.
So it looks like her foot ended here and her foot ended there.
Correct. So that's it, guys. That is it. Let me see if we have any questions online.
I also want to tell them something. Can I tell the viewers something?
You tell me what you're going to tell them first. Tell me in my ear. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not promising this, but I might do a video, probably on live.
Yes, she will be doing a video and
showing you how to do a t-shirt
made. I'm still recording.
Made by images, me tracing them into making it look like it's an image, but it's not really an image. It's me drawing.
Yeah, and then she's been learning how to change color. She's been using the Affinity on the iPad.
Also, download that now. It's really cool, and you can learn how to actually make t-shirts like on this template.
Very good. All right, so guys, I don't see any more questions. If you do have any questions, though, feel free to comment on the video. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and also join our Facebook group. It's called Innate Creatives, and that's where I let you all know that we're going to do these 10-minute template videos, and you have the opportunity to upload your graphics or your photos that you want to be incorporated in the graphics. And if I use your idea or your photos, then you get a copy of the template for the free ski.
And also make sure to hit that bell, hit notifications, so if you know that there is a new channel, if you know that there is like a new video, you already noticed it because hitting that bell.
Okay. All right. So y'all see my helper today. All right, loves. I love you all. I will talk to you soon. And bye for now. I'm going to work on this website. And well, after we eat dinner, I'm working on this website. So hopefully all these links will be working tonight, and all of these templates and fonts will be available for you ASAP, Rocky. All right. See you guys later. Thank you. Bye.